Hey guys, welcome back. It is another WandaVision Friday. As always, if you like this video or you like any of my other stuff featured on my channel, please feel free to like this video and subscribe. I have all kinds of new content coming for you guys, so I'm super excited for that. But without any further ado, let's get into WandaVision. Okay, so this is episode 4, guys. We're almost halfway through, which is kind of sad, but I'm also super pumped for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'll be doing videos on those as well. More to come. But getting into WandaVision. So we don't actually have the spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen it yet, stop here, stop watching immediately, proceed. Okay, they're all gone. All right, going from there, guys. So basically we automatically take place right after the blip occurs back. So everybody is now coming back from the dust and we are in a hospital building. And we actually come up upon who we know at this point is Geraldine in a hospital. We're gonna learn more and touch about her character in a minute. And by the way, I don't know if I've said before that, she's played by Teyonah Parris, and she's amazing. Love her. I think she's awesome. I'm so excited. I hope we do see so much more from her because I really like her as a character. She wakes up in a hospital room, and we later find out that her mom has actually passed away from cancer, and she spent obviously the 5 years in the blip, didn't know, and now she finds that her mom passed away 3 years ago. So that's pretty crazy. She then goes back to, oh, here we go, a sword, guys. So that's super cool. And if you go and you look at the building when she enters in and they tried to scan her badge, obviously it doesn't work because she hasn't been there in forever. If you look, there is a small placard that says Monica Photon Rambeau. I did look that up on marvelfandom.com, and this is what everybody had been stipulating and speculating about. So Photon was another name for Captain. She was Captain Marvel in one of the universes, and she actually worked with the Avengers. But then when there's like a whole nother branch, when like somebody else's son came into the picture, I'm not going to go into all of that level of detail, but one of her other nicknames was Photon. So of course she has cool superpowers too. Can't wait to see that. Hopefully they touch on that. But that's a cool tidbit if you caught it in there. Just a quick Easter egg. So moving on from there, they basically ground her. We find out that Monica's mom actually started SWORD. So we find out that her mom has actually grounded her for when she comes back from the blip. Because her mom didn't go, obviously she passed away. So after we go from there, guys, we end up meeting another familiar face, Mr. James Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp. How cool, FBI agent Woo is back, and that's played by Randall Park, in case you guys were curious. Super awesome, good stuff there. And Rambeau and him are checking out Westview, and it's very shady because the cops are like, we've never heard of it, it doesn't exist. When clearly you can see a population sign right there, and welcome to Westview. The cops seemingly disappear into the force field beyond, and this is where we get to that wonderful helicopter we've seen before, guys, where Monica tries to fly the helicopter in there with James Woo, and the helicopter ends up getting taken and just kind of disappears. And then by this point, I'm sure if you've already watched, you know that she actually gets sucked in herself, and that's where she translates into Geraldine. So that's one of our questions answered. So fun fact, then we fast forward 24 hours and we get to see another familiar face, Darcy from Thor. Love her. I love Kat Dennings, she's amazing. Super cool, hilarious, absolutely love her. Oh God, just amazing. And she makes her cute little quirks, and we are in the scientist, basically in a van going there. They've now set up a base perimeter kind of around the force field shield known as Westview, so whatever is going on. And they discover that the whole sitcom, so they can actually tune into it. Darcy figures out that she can tune into that frequency, and what we start to figure out is that they build almost like a board stemming about who all is in this actual world, and they figure out that there's a bunch of SWORD agents, obviously Vision and Wanda, because they're at the center of it, and then they kind of just build out from there. So I think that's kind of interesting why there's a bunch of SWORD agents in there. What exactly is the story? Are there more deceased people? Like, we are led to believe possibly that Agatha is one of them, so we'll have to continue watching and see what happens from there. But I think what's cool is the fact that Darcy actually ends up enjoying the weekly sitcoms kind of like we do right now. But another fun tidbit from there, let me try and think. She calls it it's cosmic microwave radiation, so stuff that was like back in the nuclear war. And so that's what kind of triggers the underlying broadcast. But what they're able to determine is the fact that it seems like someone is censoring the broadcast, because obviously in last week's episode we see Wanda tell Geraldine, aka Monica, to get out, to leave. What we don't end up seeing is the fact that she not only kicks her out, which is what Darcy and them hadn't seen, and neither had we, because they think someone is censoring them. So who exactly and what exactly is involved? When she throws Monica out, she literally uses her powers, which to this point we haven't seen her do. So that was kind of interesting and cool to see, you know, old Wanda kind of returning, and blast her through not just the house, but literally kicks her all the way out of Westview and tells her to get out, that she's not a neighbor, she's not a friend, she doesn't belong there. Crazy stuff. And after that, that's when Darcy notices that we can't see what's going on. Totally like crazy, right? We don't know. Somebody's censoring it, so they can't figure out at this point who exactly is censoring it. From there, we move on to Vision coming back into the house, except for this time it's kind of creepy and kind of scary. Vision's dead, and he's got that look of just, I'll try to insert an image here if I can get one that I like. I'll put it over here so you can see what he looks like. And he looks really creepy and strange and scares Wanda, and then he steps into the light and he goes back to the Vision that we've grown to see over the course of WandaVision. And they start having a deep conversation, and one of the key things I think I took from that was the fact that he says, you know, we don't have to stay here. And she says, yes, we do. It's our home. So, kind of weird. And then we're gonna fast forward over to the other part when Monica gets out. And the first thing she says is, it's Wanda, it's all Wanda. So now they're thinking that Wanda is the one that is behind this entire neighborhood, and that they're stuck in this sitcom-like type world, and that she's keeping all of them there. I have my own theories about that. I don't think that it's just Wanda. I think that she's a large part of it, but I'm wondering if she maybe, I mean, basically what happens is this is 24 hours after everybody gets blipped, right? So that's one episode. So basically every episode is a 24 hours in the modern day. So like after everyone blipped, it was 24 hours, and then Rambo went in there. So then by then it's been like 3 days, because we had 3 episodes up to that point. So it's 72 hours. So it's gonna be 3 days. That's kind of like the timeline I think that we're led to believe or follow in here. I don't think that Wanda, I mean, I think that obviously her mental grief is extremely, extremely high, and I don't think that Marvel has touched on that obviously to the level that we can expect. I'm hoping that that kind of branches into, and I know a lot of other people are, about the multiverse of madness and how maybe she just shatters dimensions and everything kind of comes together. We'll just have to wait and see. But I have my own theories. I don't think that Wanda herself is the only one behind it. I'm wondering perhaps if she is just kind of keeping them in check, trying to keep everyone safe and keeping something else out, because as we know, there's nothing usually she does without some kind of reasoning behind it. So I'm wondering if it's something to keep something in, and it's so that she doesn't have to work with her grief and kind of face it, which I know is difficult, and people process grief in different ways. So we're just gonna have to wait and see kind of what goes on there. But let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, another cool thing that they led to believe, two of the Easter eggs that we had seen before. So the guy popping out of the drain with the Bumblebee outfit suit, that was actually the sword guy. And when he goes in and crosses over, because they want to go in below ground, they think subterranean wise they're able to get in. But when they cross over, his connection, basically his cable tie that he had to the real world, and gets him and turned to those really old jump ropes. I'm sure, like, I don't know, we had them in my gym class with those like red and white jump ropes, the really old crappy plastic ones. And that's what ends up happening. And he doesn't come back. I don't know if like he just kind of died over there or what the heck happened there, but as we know, Wanda rewound it and he went back in. But he doesn't come back out. So I'm not really sure if he just like kind of goes away, what happens there. Obviously the helicopter we've already talked about, and then we now know the voice on the radio. Darcy had come up with the idea to contact Wanda on the radio because it's using those same type of frequencies, those microwave radiation frequencies as we were talking about. and he can't get a hold of her. Obviously, we've seen that in episode 2, so that's also something really cool. So I think what they did is really give us a good filler episode to kind of explain the backstory of what all is going on, because I know a lot of people, I personally love the sitcom aspect of it, but I know that there was a little bit of, not complaints, but it wasn't to everyone's taste online, which I get it, it makes sense. I grew up loving I Love Lucy and all of those shows and watching them on Nick at Night, so I really like it. It takes me back to when I was a kid, but hey, whatever your personal preference. But I think that you guys will really, really love this episode. I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm so looking forward to next week's. I can't wait to see. We're gonna be going into the 80s, so super pumped for that. So stay tuned, guys. There's definitely more to come. I cannot wait to see what Marvel comes up with next, and we're almost to the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Super excited about that too. And I will keep you guys going, and I'll have some more videos coming to you this week. But for now, I bid you good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you're hanging out. Have a good whatever time, and I will see you guys in my next video.